And then there's Wemby, who isn't just a superstar, but an MVP candidate in just his second season. These are the best.
He's an MVP candidate? In his second season? Nah, he's really a my career player, bro. What the fuck? He is the future of basketball. Now, let me tell y'all, man, this guy right here, he been balling. Man's an alien, and he's definitely gonna be the face of the league, bro. I think we're all convinced, and if you haven't been convinced already, you're sleeping under a rock, bro. But anyways, make sure you grab your snack, and let's hop right into the video.
What you're about to witness was one of the rarest occurrences to happen on an NBA court.
2 seconds. The clock reset. Shaquille O'Neal. Unbelievable. 19 points in the quarter for O'Neal. Get off the track. Here comes Shaq.
A buzzer-beating 30-footer from Shaquille O'Neal. An otherwise awesome shot, but in this particular case, it was an absolute abnormality. Because throughout Shaq's 19-year career, he made 11,330 shots. The one you just watched was the one and only three-pointer. But this was back in 1996, when big men lived in the paint, three-pointers being virtually off limits for them. Out of the 41 active 7-footers in the league that season, only 12 of them hit at least a single three-pointer. Only 7 of them hit multiple three-pointers, and Arvydas Sabonis was breaking the mold, hitting a whopping 39 threes throughout the entire season. More than every other 7-footer combined. But the league has changed a lot since 1996. Sabonis' historic shooting season getting buried over the course of 3 decades of basketball evolution, with players like Dirk Nowitzki, Brook Lopez, and Karl Anthony Towns redefining what it means to be a shooting big. The ability to shoot the long ball transforming from essentially a cool gimmick for big men to almost a necessity in today's league. But it was Lauri Markkanen back in 2023 who set a new benchmark for just how lethal a big man can be from outside, sinking 200 three-pointers in a single season. By far the most of any 7-footer in NBA history. At least it will be until the end of this season, because Victor Wembanyama is on pace to do this. 240 three-pointers in a single season, a mark that completely laps even the greatest big men shooters of all time. But Victor isn't just a 7-footer. He's one of the tallest players in the history of the league. If we limit the players on this graph to those at least as tall as Wemby, well, yeah. Victor Wembanyama is an aberration, a basketball singularity, because he's doing this while also being the best defensive player on the planet. And yet, it's still not enough. Fans criticizing the big man, saying that his game is too soft and that his skill set doesn't match his size. Playing 25 feet away from the basket, almost in defiance of his size and physical advantage. Why is he all the way out there? The jaw-dropping displays of skills far too refined for a player his size are cool and all, but why don't you try posting somebody up for a change? Wemby is already a generational talent, the potential to be one of the greatest of all time. But what's all that potential if you refuse to use it? Is Wemby's game falling victim to a league that has become infatuated with guard skills and the long ball? Or is he on the brink of completely altering the entire landscape of basketball and how the game is played? Today's video is sponsored by Factor 7. Dearer than doorstep and meal. Their registrous support that comes with don't toss them or click the link below and use code 50HighRoller to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50HighRoller at factor75.com.
Wembanyama. Now Jokic switches back on him. Crossing over Jokic. What a bucket!
What in the NBA evolution did I just witness? There was a point in time, not very long ago, where if you told NBA fans there would be a 7'4" giant doing bag work and hitting crossover threes from 25 feet out, no one would believe you. And yet, here we are. Victor Wembanyama is really good, and everyone knows it. But no one, even generational talents like Wemby, are supposed to be this good this early. Because even compared to the greatest players of our lifetime, Wemby is on an early trajectory that we have never seen. Through 100 career games, more points than the all-time scoring leader, more blocks than the all-time blocks leader, and more threes than the all-time threes leader. It's like the basketball gods wanted to play a sick game by creating an unfair player who can just do everything all at the same time. And once you compare Wemby's impact to other players in just their second season, the gap he has on everyone is almost unbelievable. Here are some of the greatest players of the last 2 decades and the progression through their first 2 seasons according to estimated plus-minus. Now, a -1 is about league average, so even players who got off to a relatively slow start, like Giannis, Shea, and Westbrook, were still on a positive trajectory early in their careers. Now, an EPM of 3.5 is about an All-NBA caliber season, so players like LeBron, AD, Luka, and Jokic were already stars in just their second season in the league. And then there's Wemby, who isn't just a superstar, but an MVP candidate in just his second season. These are the best.
He's an MVP candidate? In his second season? Nah, he's really a my career player, bro. What the fuck?
Players across multiple generations of NBA basketball. And Victor Wembanyama is outpacing all of them by a long shot, already producing at a level that even the best players don't reach until their 4th or 5th season. Right now, Victor isn't competing to be the best young player in the league. He's quickly approaching the best players in the world. According to most advanced metrics, so far this season, Victor has been statistically a top 5 player in the NBA. Estimated plus-minus, for example, has Wemby as the 3rd most impactful player in the league this season, only behind Jokic and SGA. Now, Luka and Giannis are 2 of the top players of their entire generation in their prime, and Wemby is already impacting games at their level in just his second season. We knew Wemby was going to be good if he could stay healthy and on the court. We knew he could be a defensive superstar just off of his physical tools alone. But no one on God's green earth knew this was a possibility. Because, quite frankly, it probably shouldn't be. Here is every single player in the NBA who has attempted at least 200 shots this season, mapped out according to their average shot distance on the x-axis and their height on the y-axis. And as you would expect, there's a clear correlation between how big players are and how close to the hoop they tend to operate. Big guys usually play near the rim, like Gobert and Gafford, who live right underneath it. The further out you go, the less height grants an advantage, and so typically you'll find the smaller players outside, like Steph Curry and Peyton Pritchard. Of course, there are outliers. TJ McConnell is just 6'1", and yet his average shot distance resembles that of a power forward. Lauri Markkanen and Brook Lopez are 7-footers, but you wouldn't know it based off the fact that the average of all of their shots is near the 3-point line. Where is Wemby in all of this? Well, he's right here, about a mile away from where you would expect the tallest player in the NBA to be.
Get your big ass in the paint. God damn. This nigga's unfair, bro. God, what the fuck, bro?
With shots that mirror a shooting guard. So far this season, Wemby's average shot is further out than some of the most prolific perimeter players like Harden and Luka. Anthony Edwards has attempted the most threes in the NBA this season, and even he is shooting closer to the basket than Wemby is. Karl Anthony Towns is in conversations as...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. He could shoot the ball for sure. It looked like his projection was 33% from the 3-point field. For a 7'4" motherfucker, that's pretty smooth. I'm not gonna lie. But my nigga, you are 7'4". Get your ass in the paint. I believe he's averaging like 23, 24 points a game, something like that. He would be averaging 30 if he just got his big back ass in the paint, bro. Bro, you are 7'4" with like an 11 million wingspan, bro. Don't even gotta jump. Y'all saw when he went on a fast break and this nigga said, it looked like a mini hoop, bro. Like, get your ass in the paint, bro. But nah, that's crazy, bro. What the fuck, bro? Damn, I muted my video. My fault.
Is far closer to Steph than he is to Kat. It is mind-boggling. And yet, as incredible as this is, there's an equal amount of concern for the future of Wemby's career and the consequences of this playstyle. Victor is a part of a generation of players who are inheriting a league that has been taken over by outside play and homogenous guard-like skill sets. We're watching this kid shatter records and bend the game in ways that we never thought were possible, and yet, for some fans, his game isn't what it should be. Victor isn't just the tallest player in the league. He's one of the tallest human beings on Earth. As cool as it is to see him hit step-back threes and do his best impression of a combo guard, it feels almost criminal that he isn't taking advantage of all of that size near the rim. A 7'4" giant with an 8-foot wingspan and the potential to be unstoppable near the rim, shooting just 20% of his shots within 3 feet.
Nah, 20% is... Get your big ass in the paint. 20% of his 7'4" ass shots in the paint. I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. That's crazy. Am I crazy? Let me know in the comments down below, bro. I know that's wild, bro.
And 50% of his shots from beyond the arc. As one fan put it, Wemby took the KD route instead of the Hakeem route. The league should be elated. Now, getting compared to Kevin Durant isn't quite the worst thing in the world, but considering who we're dealing with, it doesn't feel right for Wemby to be relegated to a hyper-lengthy, long-range bucket getter. In a league that continues to move further away from the basket, if there's one player we had hopes wouldn't lean into this new age of basketball, it was Wemby. But this assessment is all wrong. Wemby hasn't taken the KD route, and he hasn't taken the Hakeem route either. He's doing both at the same time. Victor is already regarded by many as the best defensive player in the league, a title that takes even the greatest defensive anchors years into their career to achieve. But that was the scouting report on Victor coming into the league, an era-defining defensive talent. The other stuff, competing, three-level scoring, and the potential to develop his offensive skill set was all there, but only in flashes. The question being not if, but when he could elevate to a truly elite offensive talent. Of all the timelines people had in mind, I'm not sure if anyone considered the possibility that he would check off those boxes just a season and a half into his NBA career. For some perspective, here are some of the greatest scorers in NBA history on a scale of points per possession. And here are the best defensive players in league history on a scale of defensive box plus minus. Now, being ultra elite on both sides of the ball is about the rarest thing in all of basketball, which is why on the scoring side, those defensive superstars fall here, and on the defensive side, those offensive superstars fall here. It's like some sort of intangible law of the game that keeps it balanced. Ben Wallace and Draymond Green could go toe-to-toe with just about anyone on defense, but Lord help us if they need to get a bucket. On the other hand, Iverson and Steph can score at will, but don't ask them to go down the other end and get you a stop. But there have been a handful of truly great two-way players, like Duncan, Hakeem, Kawhi, David Robinson, Giannis, and Michael Jordan. Oh, and of course, the giant freak of nature 21-year-old alien, who is already on his way to being the best two-way weapon the game has ever seen. But this is a 21-year-old Wemby. Compare him to these superstars in just their second season, and you're looking at a player who looks like a work of fiction. So remind me again what exactly the problem is with Wemby's game. Earlier this season, Victor was facing criticism for some of his performances. Why would you ever be standing 25 feet from the basket throwing up bricks when you have the physical tools to drop the ball in the hoop without even jumping? As the season has progressed, so has Wemby's performances, and turns out watching a walking giant do this is actually really entertaining. But the initial criticism Wemby received from fans is a testament to just how far-fetched and rebellious his game is, and how fans of the NBA are reluctant to change until the change works. When Dirk Nowitzki first entered the league, and even during his rise to superstardom, he was often criticized for being soft, and that in a time of true dominant big men, he wasn't one of them. Part of this was the stigma around European players at the time, but a large factor was his play style. The concept of a 7-footer handling the ball, facing up, and living off of 15-foot fadeaways was just too odd for some fans to accept. Now looking back, Dirk Nowitzki was nothing short of an incredible innovator, ahead of his time. And the criticism, although some of it fair, was for the most part just a symptom of fans reluctant to accept something new. and different. Kevin Durant is on record saying he deliberately understated his height early on in his career because he knew if his listed height started with a 7, he would be labeled as a post player regardless of his skill set. Sounds a bit crazy now, but with how people viewed the game 20 years ago, without this decision, we may have never got the chance to witness this player. Early in his career, Michael Jordan was told that ball-heavy guards do not win championships. The formula for winning was rooted in the big man, and history confirmed this theory. Around the same time, Magic and Isaiah Thomas were breaking the mold, winning titles and laying the framework for Michael to completely dismantle these previous outdated notions. And of course, no one believed three-pointers could be the key piece to winning a championship until the Warriors rewrote history books and forever changed basketball with the three-pointer. No one wants change until it works. The only problem is you will never know if it works or not until someone comes in and wipes away all doubt. Victor Wembanyama is in the process of doing just that. Recently, while on the Bill Simmons podcast, Kirk Goldsberry talked about how unpredictable the progression of basketball can be and how the next phase of the NBA may be centered around the skilled big man.
The 2010s were about small ball. We're halfway through the 2020s here, Bill. And we might call it skill ball, I think, because even the big dudes like Jokic and Embiid and Wemby, like name a center from 2004 or 1994. Could they do anything that Jokic do? Maybe Rasheed Wallace. There were some guys that were super skilled.
I ain't gonna lie, you old heads. Victor Wembanyama is better than all of your favorite big men, bro. I ain't gonna cap. No, they would not eat him alive. And even if they did, he gonna go bucket for bucket with them. He gonna tell them to step up to the 3 and they can't. He's gone. He's gone. Oh my goodness, bro. This man is a cheat code, fam.
That could shoot the ball and pass and dribble.
Well, it's basically Rasheed. Rasheed was the guy everyone pointed to and said, oh my God, this guy, he can shoot from outside. He can post up. And we held him up to this crazy level, and he was like 16 points a game.
This generation does everything. Everybody does everything. Dribble, pass, and shoot. And skill has never been this high. And Wemby is giving us a very clear next up. Everything is clicking. You know, he was very hyped like LeBron coming in. But I think Victor Wembanyama is poised to be the next greatest player in the NBA at some point in the next 5 years.
Looking back at how basketball has changed over the years, it only makes sense that towering players with versatile skill sets would be the next step in the game's evolution, almost a direct counter to the small ball era that preceded it. And Victor is well aware of this. As he put it, the best way for me to help is to not put me in a box. We know we are going to make something original, something special. Coaches and staff within the Spurs organization encouraging Victor's departure from positional norms, knowing that allowing him to play his game won't stunt his potential, it will help him reach it. It doesn't make sense that Wemby can drill 30-footers, or get into his bag, or tell his guards to come set screens for him. We like our bigs to play big. I mean, usually we like our bigs to play big. Wait, hold on, that was actually kind of sick. Okay, well, height is just a number, but you gotta take advantage of it. We've heard it all before. Declarations that all made sense until the next evolution of basketball was staring it in the face. Any attempt to define Wemby's game or compare him to another player, past or present, will leave you empty-handed. He and his skill set do not compute. They are illogical. He isn't just really good, he is really good in a whole new way. We are witnessing the future of basketball. And if you didn't like the idea of a guard anchoring your team, if you didn't like the idea of 7-footers popping out and taking long jumpers, and if you didn't like the three-point revolution, then you sure aren't gonna like what this guy ends up doing.
Another great video by Jimmy High Roller, man. Bro, he is literally one of my favorite YouTubers when it comes to this basketball shit. When he be putting up all the charts, all the facts. Like, as you can see, bro, I shut up in this video. Y'all be talking in the comments saying I be talking too much. But yo, Victor Wembanyama is definitely a cheat code, bro. He needs to get his big ass in the paint, honestly. Obviously, he's already an offensive super weapon, but I felt like he could do a lot more damage if he just stepped in a little bit more. Also, I wouldn't be surprised, bro, speaking on the era and the evolution of the NBA, I wouldn't be surprised, bro, if, like, the average height of the league is going to go from 6'7" to freaking 7 foot, bro. Every single point guard going to be 6'10" and up. So if I ever have a son, I'm 6'4", 6'5", by the way. My girl is short as hell. Short little Latina. My son is not going to be taller than 6'7". I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. So the NBA dreams, I don't want to crush anybody's NBA dreams, bro, but if you're going to be under 6'7", you really got to, like, be him, bro. Like, the evolution of the NBA is really, really crazy. And Victor Wembanyama is looking a lot better than what LeBron was looking at his time, in my opinion. And I think LeBron is the GOAT-totimus. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And what's crazy, too, is, even with all these facts, I don't even hear a lot about Victor Wembanyama. I don't know if it's because he plays for the Spurs or whatever. And the Spurs are actually doing a lot better than they did last season. I don't know, man. Do you guys think within the next 5 years Victor Wembanyama is going to be the face of the league? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. If you have a video suggestion for me, make sure you leave it down in the comments down below and maybe I'll react to it in my next video. Also, if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. It's that little red button or white button. I don't know. YouTube got like 20 updates. Also, hit that notification bell so you can get notified every single time I drop a banger. And with that, I'm out, nigga. I'm out, nigga. I'm out.